Hello. How is everybody doing today? So we are currently at the moment just in the knife round of this game right now, looking like it is going to go. Well, I thought it was going to go in the favor of Exillium, and it is just about to do so as Triux manages to secure that final frag there. So they'll probably choose to stick on the CT side for this one, but this is the ESEA UK Division 2. That is the league that we are playing in. My name is Protalis, and Wolfie is my co-caster who sort of organised everything today. How are you doing?
I'm not doing too badly at all. I finally have my microphone working and I'm excited to cast some UKCS. It's been a while since I've been back down here, back to where I started casting things, so interested to see how this one pans out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Exillium electing to stay on that CT side, just a double flashbang in terms of utility in the hands of Ghazala. He's just only got one of those left remaining now as a relatively passive setup over on the A site, quite hiding over in these bomb sites right now. Whereas banana control hasn't yet been relinquished well, until right now. So with 1 minute 20 seconds on the clock, still a lot of decisions for Raffica to make in terms of where they're going to go. But right now, it does look like they are going to try and pressure this B bomb site.
Interesting to see Ozala just lurking in towards CT as well. He has no idea where this hit is coming from. I'm not sure Raffica even know where they're looking to go here. They got a couple of players in towards that A-bomb site making some noises. We will see Leaf trying to go for some peeks towards that top banana. He's not really finding any contact to work things out, but now the push is looking to set itself up. 4 T-sided players heading in towards that B-bomb site, trying to take the early contact. The rotation is being called. Stempy gets a lovely shot. Ozala with the second, and MBL starts to wreak havoc from the site. This is going perfectly for Exillium as Leaf is left last alive in a 1 versus 5. Too many angles for him to cover realistically, and Joshua is just going to clean up. What a pistol round for Exillium.
Yeah, absolutely great B-site hold there from them. Excellent individual performances from the side of Exillium there, showing off that crisp aim with the pistols and allowing that bomb site to be defended so successfully. Raffica, unfortunately, didn't have any utility to try and deal with anything, and it appeared that they didn't even have the time to react before their heads were just clicked off, and then Leaf left alone then in the 1v5. They have gone for the force buy in this one, and the utility is not going to deal too much damage to the T side at the moment as they look for a fairly default setup around the map.
We do have game audio turned on now as well, boys. Apologies for that one. The overlay's getting the better of me. Interesting to see. This really has become a meta change recently, picking up those 4 Deagles and a Scout into the second round buy. Not something you used to see all that often at any level, but with the economy changes, teams are more than happy to sit back and just play.
Well, yeah, 5 MP9s on the side of Exillium as well. It's been a while since we've seen absolutely everything. Though A-bomb site now coming under pressure from Raffica, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to contest the pressure short instead, and that's a great kill from Ghazala to try and deny some of this flanking potential.
Very simple CS from Exillium, getting a lot of damage out of it, but now the A-site hit looks to come through. 4 players going to commit to this. There's a little bit of utility to throw as well. Can the Scout do any work this close and personal? 3 Deagles are working as well. Barter's got the lineup, but Joshua able to trade at least one alone on the site, though. Barter actually grabs a second before the trade. MBL is here, and he's got his timings down. Last man alive. What a 1 Deag. Very simple again. Exillium just looking like they've got the better of their opponents so far.
Yeah, right now their aim is just holding true in the site defenses again, because it's been the pistol round. The first round, the second round then was that force buy, so Raffica don't really have the money for utility in that, so they aren't really able to do anything other than dry peek these Exillium players at the moment, and it just looked like the aim from the Exillium side is a little bit too crisp, and at the moment it doesn't look like they're going to be able to win those straight gunfights if they want to succeed on this T side.
2 Deagles and 3 PC-50s. This is just a damage exercise, but you can see the bonus round very much in session over on the Exillium side of things. 5 MP9 still picked up by the CT side, and a full bank of utility to back it up. Well, Joshua taking the early peak, only tagged down by 5 HP. He's not going to be too fussed about that, and the rotation already been called. As the T side, they have bracket control, but struggling to get anything done with it. Joshua grabs himself a double kill on that MP9, and the economy is really starting to build now for Exillium. HS HST spotted out in the balcony area. And for the CT side, this is just damage limitation again here. Don't lose too many more players to these pistols. Getting good damage out of the MP9s. Keep able to get at least one, but Joshua is absolutely cleaning up. On for the ace now. He really wants it, hunting down that last player. Barter in towards short. The head spotted out. Triox cleans up, and 4 MP9s kept alive over on the CT side.
Yeah, once again, another relatively clean anti-eco from the side of Exillium, as we do now head into the first full gun round of the game. And interestingly, at the moment, it doesn't look like Exillium are going to be investing too much into this one, going for the more bonus-heavy setup. Only 1 rifle being brought in and 4 MP9s being held against the full component of rifles on the T side, with a lot of utility as well. So this round is really risky for Exillium at the moment. It would be a huge bonus if they would be able to win this one, having not had to rebound from those weapons this time, but starting off relatively well for them with a 1-to-1 trade.
Nice trade. The MP9 can be upgraded. The flashbangs are good as well, as Stempy grabs a second, and now just the Kriegs remain over on that T side of things. A relatively new weapon, and I love that smoke, but we're not going to see too much more of it. Still a 4-on-3, an M4 recovered onto Azala. Joshua has himself an AK-47. This is looking very good for Exillium, and Raffica are looking a little bit stumped at the moment. They're stuck in Banana. They've got one player trying to exploit bracket control in the form of Barter, but he's really not getting anything done, and it's going to be down to these 2 Kriegs. A beautiful peek by Stempy. Can't quite find the shot. The 1-for-1 trade is still on, but Ozala taken down. That's left the B-bomb site completely open, and the CTs are going to rotate. This could be a huge mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. They're rotating off this A bomb site right now, but Raffica haven't actually committed anywhere at the moment. Remember, they knew there was only actually 1 player left in Banana and no other external B pressure arriving. You'd assume that at least the bomb would have been planted by now, should the rotation have been the right decision. And now this is going to allow Raffica to get the bomb down within A. It should allow them to get these post-plant positions, but Exillium looks like they might have woken up to this just about in time.
Just starting to rotate back in towards the site. Spots out Barter. That should be an easy enough frag, and Joshua will find it. That leaves Raffica with HST on 42 HP. 1v2 has the Krieg in hand. There's still an MP9 on MBL. Interesting to see them not dropping the AK-47 across, but they're going to go together in towards short. HST with the lineup. 1 frag, 2 frags, and Raffica will have their first round on the board.
Oh, what an excellent spray, well, a couple of taps there, a couple of headshots there from HST. What an incredible level of play right there. I was certainly expecting Raffica to have lost that last round there. It looked to me like Exillium certainly had the advantage after they woke up a bit too quickly. Raffica too cautious getting into their site there, giving a little bit too much respect to their opponents, taking too long to get in their site, and that inevitably allowed Exillium to rotate back. But once again, it's individual play that has been winning some of these rounds, except this time it was for the side of Raffica.
And now the buy comes out for Exillium. Perk of those MP9s. They've got Joshua on the AWP. The pixel angle is good to him as he takes down Barter early on. And this is where Raffica have really seemed to struggle. Their economy isn't set. You're going to see City's burned down to 44 HP, but he's only got a Mac 10 to work with, so very limited in terms of firepower over on the T side of things. And this CT side, despite losing the last round, have got such a strong buy, such a strong hold of both sites at the moment. And again, Raffica, they're splitting between A and B. They're just looking for any kind of a pick to equalize thing, and it's going to be down to Kikix in towards that balcony area, but he's not going to find anything.
Yeah, it does look like they are going to try and fall away from this A-heavy strategy, probably because of the amount of banana control that they've already been able to gain without having to actually fight for it too much. Exillium right now playing slightly more deep within the site defensively, as all 4 players now from Raffica look to be throwing what little utility they have onto that B-bomb site before trying to initiate this execute.
Here we go in towards B. Stempy still alive. Has Ozala in support, but doesn't need him. The triple spray down Leaf. Able to find a couple on the trade, and he should be able to get this bomb down without too many more issues. But again, Raffica just being torn apart at the seams. Exillium not even opting to push into this bomb site, waiting for the support. And now the smoke has fully faded. Leaf has got nothing more to cover him at any second. Can he hold this one down? 3 versus 1, 46 HP to work with. He's in towards dark, but for Exillium, they've got so much utility to burn. A Molotov could go in towards that dark area, force Leaf out on the wide peak, and this would all be over. Can he pull off the miracle? NBL just starting to clear the angles, making his way onto the site. Exillium being incredibly cautious, but there goes the Molotov deep onto Leaf. That will betray him, and the bomb surely will be defused. NBL's got that one down. It is going to be a 4th round for Exillium, and keeping 3 players alive is so important here.
I was almost worried for a second there when Exillium started sending 2 players to the same angle once again, this time through coffins, when they did it over towards hay bales before and lost the 1v2 situation there. So I was almost panicking a little bit when that push came in, but Triux absolutely held it down. Perfect Molotov there, just absolutely forced the remaining player out of his position. Easily then captured that into another kill, and now it's forced Raffica onto pretty much an eco.
And the MP9s, the Mac 10s come out, but they're not getting the damage. Barter's been brought down to 11 HP. There is actually good damage over on the T side of things, but he burns alive, and it's just a clean-up job again for Exillium as NBL grabs his 3rd of the round. There's 2 Mac 10s remaining on this T side. They're yet to find a frag. They really just need some damage in this round.
Yeah, absolutely. At the moment, it's looking dire for them already, as there is one of those big green guns ready to rotate over at any moment and try and put a stop to any of Raffica's shenanigans. Once again, they're looking like they really have to contest this B bomb site. There's not much else they can do, but they have absolutely no utility. It's almost a nightmare situation for them.
Stempy, long range with the MP9, making it look very simple indeed. And again, Cities is the last player alive. He's got 32 HP. His teammates haven't been able to find a frag, as Ozala just mistakes Joshua for an enemy there. And this is just looking so awkward for Raffica. Their T side really isn't firing over on Inferno. And with Cities last alive, I mean, there's nothing he can do here realistically. The nade is going to finish him off. That is such a BM way to finish the round. But 5-1 the lead, and they're going to look to stretch it, Exillium.
Yeah, something that I will say at the moment, I wouldn't count Raffica out just yet. When you think about it, there have sort of been 2 full gun rounds, and they went each way. Exillium won one of them, and then when Raffica bought into the next one Raffica won one off of the back of a force buy, and then they were defeated again in the next, I think it was, and they had to do a broken buy. Anyway, it was the round where it was the hero save from HST, getting those couple of headshots. So the 4 gun rounds have been relatively balanced at the moment. It'll be interesting to see how this one works out, and we'll start getting more of a feel of who is going to be able to dominate these rounds at the moment. But there's a lot of apartments presence here.
Raffica looking like they want to play for that execute very early on. They've sent key kicks. I'm going to go for key kicks and Barter in towards that A-bomb site, trying to get the information. But look at the setup from Exillium. It's a 3-man hold of short. Triux playing the anti-flash. There's so much support here as the initial AWP shot is mixed, but Triux, he's got his teammates back. He's spotting out so much information. The Krieg is going to be good for a second. Almost gets the wallbang as Stempy takes one down towards that B-bomb site. Key kicks on 20 HP. And this is just ridiculous at the moment. Exillium are looking so good. It's down to Leaf and key kicks to try and recover a position that is looking more and more impossible for Raffica.
Yeah, really impressive short hold there from Exillium. It absolutely destroys Raffica's attempts of trying to get into this bomb site. Unfortunately, they make the decision to commit all of their players towards top, mid, and boiler, and as a result, nobody's probing around those apartments and trying to take advantage of some of the positions that aren't maybe being guarded because everybody's committed towards the area there. Leaf do a good job getting the opener and doesn't fall either. Unfortunately for Raffica, though, key kicks is going to fall on the other side of the map, and Leaf once again left on his own in a 1vx situation. This time it's 4 Exillium players he'd have to find in 10 seconds, so he's just going to head back into spawn with his gun and bring it into the next one. But the money looking great for Raffica.
I will say that one's a little bit unfortunate because everybody's tagged up at least a little bit over on the Exillium side of things. I think if Leaf had had some more time and perhaps a little bit more utility to back that, he might have been tempted to have a crack. But once more, we're going to see Raffica really in the dumps economically. They are going to be buying whatever they can, but it's not going to be anything significant, and you do worry for them. They really haven't been effective in these half-buy situations. They're going to grab 3 Deagles and a Tech 9 around that Krieg on Leaf, but you've got to wonder what they can do. Besides Leaf popping off with the Krieg, it's not looking good for Raffica.
But yeah, something else that you've got to say is you could make the excuse that it's the T side of Inferno, the more difficult side of the map, but we sort of know that on the T side you need to be picking up about 6 rounds if you want a successful season to try and win the map. But right now, Raffica don't really look like they're in a condition where they can do that.
And with Leaf brought down to 3 HP by utility, that creek has got to go, and indeed it will. Cities is going to recover it and try and get some damage out. But again, MBL, nice flash, beautiful timing to find the opening pick. Spotting out Barter, he is going to take a little bit more damage than that peak was really worth. Falls back into the pit, however, and it just looks like Exillium have got such a well-manufactured hold here as Ozala finds a little bit of damage through the smoke to boost that first kill. Interesting flank from Kikix, hasn't been spotted out, so at least a free kill onto Joshua here, and indeed he will get a freebie at the very least, looking to find more, but nobody really peeking him, so now the AWP could look to help this A bomb site hit, but MBL's got it covered. Triux finds the refrag, and somehow it's recovered again by Exillium.
City's now in a really awkward position, actually, because there's only one player left here defending this A bomb site in pit right now, so theoretically he could have contested that and tried to get the plant on the A bomb site. But what's interesting is he's actually going to try and move over towards, well, it is going to be back towards A right now, and now he's starting to get caught in that sandwich. He's got a player on 2 fronts at the moment, so he's going to have to land some really nice headshots in order to win. But so far he's only had 1 kill in the map, so maybe not the player you want in this 1v3.
He's not clearing underneath him either. Oh my goodness me, Triux spots him out, can't quite hit the shot, baits for the backstab in Ozala, and that's just a consequence of not clearing your angles. He could have got the bomb down there if he cleared it efficiently.
Yeah, potentially. There was only one player actually left defending that pit, as I was saying. So, I wouldn't say necessarily a winnable situation, because you're still locked into that 1v2 at the end with basically no utility left, and you'd probably be tagged up for the engagement. But nonetheless, it was much more of a chance than it could have been, despite the fact that 2 of his teammates were just defeated in that push, and the bomb wasn't even involved in it. So, again, a little bit of an awkward one there, but off of the back of it, Raffica are going to be able to fully invest into this one, picking up an AWP on the HST, who has been having some great individual moments in this map so far. And Raffica, once again, are going to try and contest for some ground in Banana, but whether they get it is a different question entirely.
The utility has been so efficient from Exillium. They've really been locking out that Banana position, and you can see Raffica, they're desperate to get some control back towards Banana. Still throwing some nades towards the A-bomb site, and this hold's been great as well. Kikit's going to go out behind the flashbang and grab the opening pick, however, taking down MBL. Stempy able to trade on towards top Banana, but the AWP of Joshua needs to be a little bit cautious here. Can't afford to get too committed. He needs to support his teammates as the bomb heads towards B. Triux goes from a peek from short, and that is so well timed. The flashbang is absolutely perfect, and you can see Raffica a little bit lost trying to take Banana.
This is really interesting at the moment. Exillium almost there, looking like they were going to commit another player towards this A bomb site, and that would have been really detrimental, because there's 3 players from Raffica right now lining up a push onto the B site, and there's no players actually within the site to defend it.
This boost is going to do a lot of damage, I think. Tapping through the smoke. Leaf has got it down, though. Down to 16 HP. Finds the pick that opens up this B-bomb site. Now it's going to be a retake. 3-on-3. And Raffica do have some rifles to work with. AWP on HST. Leaf, although low HP, does have an AK-47 to work with. There's a fair amount of utility over on the CT side of things. And it's going to be down to Joshua, really, to find this opening pick on that AWP. Needs to try and take down HST if at all possible. Smoke start to rain through. Lovely headshot from Joshua to open things up. Now a 2-on-3, going to use the Molotovs, but that's actually going to allow HST to peek aggressively into the angle. Joshua has him on the second time of asking. Last alive, Leaf in towards the pool, but again, Exillium are looking so well drilled on their retakes.
Raffica absolutely not even involved in that 3 versus 3 situation right there. HST missing a couple of shots there over towards CT, and then the final player just simply not reacting to the fact that he's getting pushed and defeated. So right now, Exillium really starting to run away with things. Thankfully for Raffica, their economy is in a position where they'll be able to continually invest due to their loss bonus at the moment. But Exillium just looking too strong right now, and Raffica need to change up their tactical style, I think, if they want to look into this half.
Early trades have made damage and spamming through the smoke just to add insult to injury. MBL's going to pick himself up an opener. And this is the situation Raffica are finding themselves in so consistently. They're in these 4v5 scenarios. They've got limited utility. Cities is down to half HP, so they're just going to throw all their eggs in one basket, as it were, and head straight towards that A bomb site where there's an AWP, a Krieg, and an AUG lying in wait. A fully scoped setup for Exillium over on that A bomb site, as bracket control is established at the very least. Going to be intriguing to see how Raffica look to plan this execute here. Currently lurking towards long, where the AWP of Joshua lies in wait. He's been on point so far with those shots. The smoke may keep him out of the affair for a little while longer, however. Now, can Exillium hold this one down? The long push starts to come through. Joshua backs off in towards Library, trying to give himself any kind of an angle, but you could see CT's now open. Ozala has to react to that situation. Lovely one tap by Leaf, but Joshua's there to trade him out, and Joshua looking for more. Second from the Library. Nobody on the repeat. Joshua grabs 3. Triux finishes the job off, and how are Exillium bailing themselves out of these situations?
It's just individual performances at the moment from Exillium. It seems to be that it's this core top two players right now. Joshua and Stempy leading the way with 16 and 10 kills apiece. NBL as well has had his highlights, trailing just behind at 9. But look at the stats for Raffica right now. They're just not able to kill these Exillium players. Top player is Leaf right now with only 5 kills. City still has only been able to find 1. And it looks like they're going to try for a contact play over towards A at the moment, but the aim from Exillium is just going to shut this down by the looks of things.
And Leaf has just sat in a Molotov to 2 HP. That's a lovely flash through the smoke. It does isolate NBL beautifully. He'll find 1 though. He'll find a second as well. Drops the bomb and goes for more. 3 and 4 for NBL, and it's the last man alive in Barter to at least grab 1 back onto Triux. But again, they're just making it look so easy, Exillium. It's Barter in a 1 versus 4. He found the initial kill, but so much more to do. And with that bomb dropped all the way in towards A long, I think there's no world he does anything but save here.
Well, I mean, I did say that NBL was slightly trailing behind the 2 leaders for Exillium, so he's decided to reply with 1 increase his own stats there, and then Stempy making sure that he's still in the top 3 as well. I think that's perfect evidence of my previous point, to be honest with you. The individual skill right now from Exillium is just too much for Raffica to handle. They can't win the gunfights, and ultimately in Counter-Strike, if you can't win the gunfights, you can't win the round.
It's such an awkward position to find yourselves in. You're on the T side of Inferno. You're not winning any of your aim duels. Your executes are looking a little bit off. And, I mean, they don't even have the utility to pull off a full execute here. They got 2 smokes and 2 flashbangs to try and find some kind of an entry. And once more, they're going to be queuing up very aggressively towards A. Joshua actually making an early mistake as P-Kicks takes him down. NBL able to trade for the very least 1. Gets good damage, but ooh, that's a headshot from HST. And now 4 versus 2. Finally, Raffica look like they could be able to grab themselves around here.
Yeah, once again, HST using his own individual prowess to try and claw around here for Raffica. The money is absolutely great for Exillium, so I see no reason not to go for this one, even if it's just to try and take as many rifles out of Raffica's hands as possible, because their economy is going to be that much weaker. It does look like Raffica are going to survive with 4 players left alive, though, and they have found a second round on the board at the moment, but they're going to have to string a couple more together in sequence if I'm going to be convinced they might be able to come back into this map.
They need something a little bit special here. We need to see HST turning up to a new level. Really been struggling so far. Let's see what he can do as the double AWPs are called by Exillium. They've lost a round against full rifles, and they're clearly not happy with it. Going to go double AWPs, and they're getting aggressive down middle as well. Nice use of the utility early on, as NBL sets himself up in a very advanced position. Waits for the AWP shot and goes for the capitalization. Finds himself an opening pick, and he's dropped the bomb. No reaction from Raffica at the moment. Finally, Leaf looks to recover it, but Exillium are just finding the frags all over the place. Banana control completely established by the CT side. The backstab is perfect, and as Barter does manage to take down Joshua, NBL, of course it's NBL to find himself a 3rd, and it's Barter again in the impossible situation. 1v4, taking that duel against Triux, but the dink surely seals his fate.
I can only assume that the communication for Raffica is starting to break down at the moment, because when NBL gets that flank and the bomb gets dropped, Leaf doesn't react for a solid 5 seconds. He just continues to throw his utility up top Banana, and then doesn't even think about peeking for a while, and still ultimately falls to NBL as well. So it almost looks like the fact that the bomb carrier died just hadn't even been told. Triux unfortunately getting caught off guard at the wrong angle there, and That's going to be not so much of a reset as harsher times in the economy systems of Counter-Strike, but nonetheless, Keykick is going to have to drop down to this Mach 10 right now. It's the penultimate round of the first half, and Raffica, it doesn't look like they have an answer to Exillium's defense at the moment.
And they're going to be able to stick with that double AWP setup as well, just making them even more lethal than previously. Looks like Raffica, they're going route 1 and they're going to keep trying it till it works, looking for that control in towards the apartments. But, I mean, the Exillium setups have just been so strong. I'd really love to see a little bit more utility being deployed by Raffica, trying to get a bit more of an execute coming out to maybe take some players down, as Ozala, just full of confidence, looks to go for the repeat. The spam through, he finds the tag through wood, will be taken down in trade at the very least, but it's a 4-on-4, and the HP, again, very much favouring the CT side as they are looking to go a little bit more towards the execute. Triox has different ideas. Up on top of the bike, he gets an easy frag onto HST. Nice flank from Keykick, and this round is divulging into chaos very, very quickly. They should be able to get the bomb down on A here, Raffica, but MBL and Triox still looking to cause a nuisance. The spray not quite on point, but he will be able to recover it beautifully. Traded out by Keykick on that recovered AWP to make it a 2 versus 2. These tags could start to become so crucial as Leaf looks to get this bomb down. MBL with that full utility could take down Leaf with the HE here if he can get the lineup sorted out.
Yeah, very nice. Grenade kill would be another spectacle for us as the 2v2 does something. Keykick's right now looking at the wrong angle. There is a player in position to deal some damage. Molotov going to come in to force him out of position as well. He's in a huge amount of trouble at the moment, but somehow won't be able to escape as a follow-up Molotov comes in, and it's MBL once again to finish things off with a double kill.
It's absolutely ridiculous watching Exillium right now. They are just a class above their opponents as it stands, and you've got a feel for Raffica at this point. They're 12-2 down. Where is the FF button? This is surely going to be too much of a comeback for them over on the T side, especially of Inferno.
That's true. They are going to have to switch to the defensive side momentarily, which we know the defenses, when you're on the CT side, it does favour the more individually skilled players because they just have to hold angles and aim well as players run into their sights. Nonetheless, though, I've got a feeling that the team cohesion from Exillium, based on some of the setups that we've seen so far in this match, is too strong for Raffica. I think that their tactical reads on the game have also looked far and away better than Raffica's at the moment. It looks like right now this round begins to fall apart once again for the T side. I don't think things will get any easier in the next half.
Lovely shot from Joshua as well. Now he's just going to distract for his teammate. That is a flick and a half. MBL happy to just go for one through the smoke. Why not? 13-2 at the half. Exillium with an absolutely monumental lead. And I mean, if Raffica don't win the pistol, this is surely all over.
You certainly wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't want to be on the bomb site that gets initially pressured by these Glocks, because I think the nerves would certainly be getting to me. It's a hugely important round for the side of Raffica if they want to look into things. I don't know how much of a mental reset they'll have been able to have based off of that one, considering that they haven't actually won a round in a while. If you think about it, they've at least 4 or 5, I think, strung together in a row before switching halves. So it's not even like the 2 rounds they won were towards the end. They started to get a little bit more competitive than they were. Exillium just continuing to dominate them at the moment, and the pistol round going to need to go Raffica's way if they want even the slightest chance at winning this map on Inferno.
An opening pick would be absolutely ideal. Cities with a couple of flashbangs to try and make it happen. HST is very aggressive here, and you can see Stempy actually running right into him to find the opening pick, going the way of Exillium. Upgrades onto the USPS, and this is where the T side can just slow things right down. They have that man advantage. Leaf is completely alone towards A, but at the moment Exillium look like they're going to head back towards B. Joshua going to take these opening peaks towards top banana. There's a nice crossfire for Keykick and Barter, in fact, towards top of banana. They do have cities to throw the flashbangs towards car as well. This setup could work out for Raffica, but they need to hit their shots. Shoulder peek in the angle. Raffica, he's waiting for the flashbang, but it's too little too late as Joshua grabs one, looking for more. He grabs a second. How are they getting away with this? Cities finally comes up with a double in response and starts to make it a little bit more fair, but he's completely out on a limb here, trying to find those headshots. Leaf looking to go through the smoke as the last man alive. Grabs one, grabs two, but can't quite find it. Exillium bail themselves out and grab a 14th.
Well, Cities decided to wake up at the right time in the CT pistol. Unfortunately, though, it looks like it's going to be too late at this point, as Raffica desperate to prevent map point falling into the hands of their opponent. So they're going for the full buy in this situation, not leaving barely any money left in the bank. And Exillium also not taking any risks. They're picking up all the rifles they can as well to give themselves the best possible chance of victory in this one.
Joshua taking a huge amount of nade damage early on. Would be very surprised to not see that AK dropped across, but Stempy, he just has no respect for Raffica at the moment. Finding that opening pick onto Leaf. Once again, it's 5v4, and with Barter tagged down to half HP on the Deagle, this is going to be very difficult. That's a lovely spot by the Max 10. Can't quite find the damage, though. Barter somehow grabbing a kill out of nothing, and as Cities grabs a second, tries to bail, Ozala has him locked in, and this is all onto HST. The B-bomb site looking very, very lonely for him at the moment. Just that scout to work with. He can find a tag, but nothing more, and Ozala is about to go on a tear here. Spots out the second man, takes down Key Kicks, and Barter 40 HP, a Deagle 1 versus 3, and he's got to try and retake this to prevent it going to map point.
You certainly don't envy the position he's in at the moment. He's got to hit some very crisp headshots, and I don't even think he's going to attempt to go for this defuse at this point. I think his goal is to just try and kill one of the Exillium players and get himself an AK, and right now, unfortunately for him, his Deagle shots aren't going to be the target. That seems to have been the story for quite a lot of players on the Raffica side so far in this map, as once again they're going to be forced to invest in what they can, but it's a ropey buy to keep them in the game.
Need a miracle here, Raffica. 15-2 down. They have just not showed up at the moment, and with 3 Deagles, an MP9 and a Scout, can you really see them showing up this time? They have invested in a lot of utility, and I'd like to see it deployed efficiently, as it will be exactly that. Raffica actually going to grab a double kill before Yosh was able to trade him out, so that's the perfect start. That MP9 getting a lot of opening damage, and those AKs are in decent enough positions. Lovely tag again, but Key Kicks without that AWP in his hands, only able to find the tag as Joshua manages to trade him out. The headshot on that AK, trying to throw those out of the map and make them unrecoverable for the CT side, as they are stuck 3-on-3 AKs versus Deagles. I think this is going to take an absolute miracle, as Exillium are lining up utility towards B.
Yeah, right now, HST. Oh my word, he's going to be under a lot of pressure. Look at all of the utility being committed to defeat just him at the moment. He's going to need to drop absolute heroic. Like he's going to be able to manage it, and Exillium are one step closer to closing things out on Inferno.
3 versus 2. 2 Deagles again. This time Cities and Leaf, the players tasked with pulling off the impossible, and you really do worry for them as the last of the utility is deployed by Exillium. They're 3 versus 2 to try and get into this site. They've used one of their 3 flashbangs to get into an area where there's no T-sided presence at all. Cities does have 2 flashbangs to work with, but going for the dry peek in towards construction. Exillium no need to peek anything here, just play for the crossfires, and that's exactly what they will do. A 16-2 victory, and that is absolutely stunning from Exillium. What a great start for that ESL Prem Div 2 qualifier.